Hi everyone, I am Manish Kumar. Today I am speaking about the steel advantages and disadvantages of steel structure. And this advantages and disadvantages of the steel structure is mainly contains five topics. I am presenting. The topic one is the introduction of steel structure, and the second topic two is classification of steel structure, and topic three is advantages of steel structure, and topic four is advantages or disadvantages of steel structure, and this topic five is conclusion of steel structure. Introduction. Steel is one of the most general employed materials of the steel, construction time. Without steel, the structure of does not make definite. While seismic thermons like earthquake steel structure are susceptible to the color ecological condition, the application of steel development structure can came a common practice. The weight of the structure materials and the force of the gravity and pressure defined an endurance chance of stability in structure and its architectural possibilities. Each steel structure has some advantages as well as disadvantages, and the figure is shown in the figure page. Classification of steel structure. Some classifications shown here. Mainly the mechanical properties of steel structure is very sensitive to the carbon content. The mechanical of steel structure will be very sensitive in the carbon content. Hence it is impractical to the classify steel based on their carbon content. The steel structures as basically three kinds: lower carbon steels, medium carbon steels, high carbon steels. Lower carbon steel is a weight of percentage of lesser than 0.03. Medium carbon steel is lesser than 0.03 percentage, weight of C 0.6 percentage. High carbon steel, the weight of C is greater than 0.06. The other parameter available for the classification of steel is amount of the alloying addition, and based on the steel are two kinds: plain carbon steel and alloy steel. These are the two kinds. In the plain carbon steel and alloy steel is the other parameters present in the classification of steel. We'll do the next page. Advantages of steel. Advantages of steel structures. The lower budget project cost and high strength. And the lower project cost, the steel structure remains the cost leader for the majority of construction projects. Comparative studies and indicate the structural steel framing system, including decking and fire protection, will typically cost 5% to the 7% less than concrete framing system on the national basis. High strength. All other material talk about high strength, but their strength is still less than the structural steel even when enhanced by steel reinforcing. Recyclable. The materials of steel can be recyclable for the future use. The structural steel is most recycled material on our planet today. Structural steel is made up of 80%, 88% recycled product, is fully recyclable in the future and can be reused with the further processing. And this the picture is shown in there is a recycle chart. The substance or plastic material or steel, anything can be recycled, so it will be used for the future in the for 88 percentage. Ductility means steel is a ductile material, so steel can be withstand extensive deformation without failure. Under high tensile stress, it gives warning before failure take place. And the subject pic is shown in the page. Durability means the steel frames that are used for the construction of building and other infrastructure are made up of mild steel. This steel is long lasting and strong enough to carry huge tons of weight for the many years without the need of any restoration or repair. Example, when the bridges and steel bridges or material bridges will be placed in between the oceans and some river, so the steel will be very strong and will be not be used to repair or restoration anything, any type of that. So this is known with durability means it's a strong, and it will be strong and it will be placed, it can bear any type of weight. Temporary structure means we temporarily build a POP house, anything will temporarily built and we can be removable whenever we want. And this temporary structure steel structure is like a structure built by a man, and it can be removed by the man. And any time of structure can be happen in the temporary structure. Steel frame structure can be easily built with the help of various methods such as bolting, welding, and riveting. This reduces the time taken to the temporary structure to make temporary structure, and time will be reduced by making this. It won't take more time to build. So temporary structure is known as removable structure or a reused structure. Aesthetic beauty means in the steels we can make a beauty by curve, roll, and straight or bending. Any type of designs can be made by the steel. This is known as aesthetic beauty. Structural steel section can be bent and rolled to create non-linear members to the future enhance aesthetic appeal of a structure. This this can be knowing the by seeing the picture we can you can know that the design of a steel with acidic beauty. We can roll on any type of design can be made by the steel, and it will be an infrastructure for the outer look. And our mainly it's for use for future plans. It can be usually appeal and the structure of the structure. Disadvantages of steel. Disadvantage of steel. The main disadvantage of the steels is the maintenance cost is very high in the steel sector due to the action of rust of steel. Expensive paints are required to the renew time so that the resistance against service condition increases. Steel has very small resistance against fire as compared to the concrete, almost 600 to 700 C half of the steel strength reduced. Steel cannot be bold mold in any direction you want. It can only be used in the form in which section originally existed. Is this steel loses its ductility property, then chances of brittle fracture increases. If there is a very large variation in the tensile strength, then this leads steel to more tension due to the which tension steel properties graph fall downs. These are the advantages of the steel structure, and these advantages and disadvantages we can know many types. So the last part of this steel structure is conclusion. In conclusion, we can know what's the main important process in the steel structure. And the conclusion of the steel structure. Structural steel has many benefits, including its strength, durability, customizability, and quick fabrication time. However, there are some drawbacks, including cost, higher transport cost due to the weight limitation, fire resistance, concern, as well as specialized knowledge required for the fabrication. With all this information in mind, you should know how have a better understanding of how structural steel could benefit your next project, but also how you will need to plan ahead for a potential issues along the way. This shows the topics that I covered, five topics in the steel structure, and by the conclusion we'll be knowing whatever we can do in the future or now, and its benefit for the plants or any other types. If you do any project, we can know the by conclusion, and this topics is known as steel structure topic. And in steel structure there are many types of steels, and by it may used by every sources in the steel structure. So steel structure is a main part in the civil engineering. Steel is on an own part in the civil engineering. The civil department students need to study the steel topic. Thank you. Thank you everyone.